This Saturday, the 2024 UFA playoffs begin with a gigantic battle in Boston. The two-time defending champion New York Empire try to keep their season alive against old friend Jeff Babbitt and the Boston Glory. Opening polls scheduled Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. and broadcast exclusively on WatchUFA.tv.
A gorgeous spring day brings us arguably the most anticipated game of the season. It's Boston versus New York here in Week 4 of the UFA season. Empire travels to Hormel to take on Glory. Craig Salvador joined by Cody Roy. Cody, is biggest game of the season fair to say?
Yes, it is, Craig, but just don't tell that to Jeff Babbitt. Talked to him a little bit pregame, and he said he treats tonight like any other game. The truth is, when a dynasty founding player like Babbitt moves on from that team, the first game he plays against his former team is going to be circled on every calendar. Babbitt comes into tonight with 7 blocks, good for second in the league, as well as 10 goals, tied for Ty Chan and Simon Carapella for team lead in Boston.
Yep, and Jeff Babbitt has been making a home here, but let's talk about his counterpart, Ben Yacht, former MVP as well, still with New York Empire. He himself has been having quite the season through 2 games, 4 goals, 3 assists, 2 blocks through 2 games, 376 receiving yards, and he has been a mainstay for this Empire offense. And speaking of mainstays, we have Boston Glory's field general, Ben Sadok. Ben Sadok doing what he does best, leading Glory with 12 assists on the season. He has been an absolute staple for this team since day one. Then we move over to his counterpart. We have Jack Williams, the hybridisty of hybrid players. I don't even know if that's a word, but it is now. Jack Williams has been huge in throwing and catching the disc. He is second in goals for Empire with 4, tied with a few other players, and then he leads the team in assists with 5. That is through 2 games. So we talked about that, and now we'll get to the standings here in the Eastern Division. In the East, Boston still maintaining first place by half a game up over DC. These two played each other last week. DC coming away with the win in a 12-11 victory. Below them is then Empire 1-1, who lost their first game since 2021 against Atlanta, and then were able to knock off. But before that, they were able to beat Royal at home in their season opener. Royal down to 1-2. They were able to beat Toronto, and they too now have had their first win since 2022. We go to Rush 0-2, Phoenix 0-2. We head over to the Ruffners ranks after Week 3, heading into Week 4. Carolina moves up to number 1 for this game. New York has dropped down to number 7, and right behind them, Boston coming in 8th. As we get ready here to begin play, stay with us. We'll be right back. Heading in to Week 4, Boston versus New York. You will not want to miss this.
This Saturday, the 2024 UFA playoffs begin with a gigantic battle in Boston. The two-time defending champion New York Empire try to keep their season alive against old friend Jeff Babbitt and the Boston Glory. Opening polls scheduled Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. and broadcast exclusively on WatchUFA.tv.
And welcome back, everybody, here to Hormel Stadium here in Medford, Mass. We're getting ready once again for New York versus Boston, what could be the most anticipated game of the season. So we'll take a quick look at what's going to make this game so important and how both teams are going to want to win today. We'll take a look at the keys to the game in just a second. We'll start over with New York, their keys to the game. Maintaining possession, limiting turnovers. They've played 2 games so far this season, and in rough conditions against Montreal, 23 turnovers, and then their game against Atlanta, 15 turnovers. So they're going to want to buckle down, bolster the offense, limit those turnovers, and just play good, strong, fundamental ultimate. Then we'll head over to Boston, their keys of the game. Familiarity, Ben Katz and Jeff Babbitt playing for the first time against their former team. Boston's going to want to play strong defense against New York. New York, still a team that can get it done offensively, struggled in the early going, so Boston's really going to want to continue those struggles for New York. And that'll do it for that. As we begin to get ready, we'll see who will start on what end of the ball starting out.
We talked about Boston's defense, too. They come into today 3rd in goals allowed per game, just 13 goals on average allowed by the Glory defense.
Boston have been a very strongly defensive-minded team, and we'll definitely see that coming up, and we'll see it sooner rather than later as Boston will be starting on defense. We see over on the New York side of things, we see Oliver Chartok, Jack Williams, Ben Yott out there, the rest of their O-line. Actually, interesting, Ethan Fortin out there as well. Ethan Fortin, usually the main D-line handler, might be out there to begin play on offense. Ethan has been their main option this season on D-line, especially with the omission now of Ben Katz. Notable omissions for today for Empire are Elliot Chartok and John Randolph are missing for Boston. Orion Cable and Kalen McSweeney are also out. So those are some key omissions for this game. Other than that, though, both teams looking like full strength, Cody.
Yep, a lot of really good strength on these two rosters tonight. I think this could turn into a real heavyweight fight.
And we get to see the familiarity right away. Boston's D-line out there. Ben Katz out there along with Luke Webb. Jonah Stang Osborne, I believe Peter Borth also out there along with Brendan McCann. Turner Allen also out there. Rounding it out, also Gus Halflin. So we'll get ready for this one. Boston up on D first. We get to see Empire's offense to begin play.
Opening pull going to come from Jonas Stang Osborne, one of the few players in the league this season to force a dropped pull.
Yep, and you will see just why in just a second. As we begin ready, 12 minutes on the clock, and we are nearly underway for what, like we said, can't say it enough, possibly the most anticipated game of the season. Jonah with his signature spiking flick pull. This one getting deep into the end zone. Fortin will catch it and haul this one up to Solomon Ruschmeyer-Bailey trying to get out of the end zone. We have begun play here in Boston. There's a nice upline finding Chartok. Moves that one up to Yacht. Yacht looking deep for a second but finds Fortin. This is good movement from New York right out the gate.
A lot of great fluid movement early. Handlers working really well with the cutters here. It's just a quick open side goal for New York.
And we talked about maintaining possession and good fundamental ultimate. That is all that was from Ben Yott to Solomon Ruschmeyer-Bailey. First goal of the game, nothing fancy there, just really good solid movement, cutting to open space and finding the right man for the right time.
And without Jeff Babbitt, that's what this New York offense has turned into, is just fundamental strong play.
We'll see here in New York, Ben Yott just finding Solomon Ruschmeyer-Bailey, no problem. Just cutting through Boston's defense in the early going, and on a quick score, shaving only 33 seconds off the clock. Marquez Brownlee, the main puller for Empire, out there. Along with him, we see Antoine Davis. Shankalotti's out there as well. Also out there, Liam Haberfield, number 37. See who else is out there. Boston's O-line, Simon Carapella out there along with Colin Sundy, Ben Sadok, Ned Dick, Tyler Chan out there as well. And Tanner Johnson-Go is also out there for Boston. There's another good pull, this one deep in the end zone as well. Sadok in the middle of the end zone looking to just get out, being guarded by Brownlee. They'll work this one up to a cutting Jeff Babbitt. Hauls it in, no problem. Babbitt looking for something. He dumps back into the end zone to Sadok, the former college teammates. Boston just really needing to get out of the end zone, and they will on a near run through D. Ty Chan hauls it in. Chan will move it up again, this one coming close, this one to Johnson-Go.
Jeff Babbitt and Antoine Davis is going to be a matchup tonight. That's going to be a great one to watch.
That's going to be a fun one. Here's Babbitt on the in-cut. Faking out, that's actually Tanner Johnson-Go. To Ned Dick now. They'll work this one over. Nice layout from Sadok quickly. And they'll work it to midfield. Here's Sunday now, guarded by Haberfield. Brownlee on Sadok. Straight up mark. Sadok fakes the backhand, stays on his feet, gets this one over to Sunday, almost running into Babbitt. Then Sunday with the quick look to Carapella, able to catch that one. Little look what I found grab. Carapella looking out his options. He'll outstretch the backhand to Johnson-Go. Guarded again by Davis. Johnson-Go looking for the end zone. And Ben Sadok comes up and down with it over Brownlee and right in front of Drost. Ben Sadok with the one-handed grab.
Ben Sadok is not a player you see sky too many guys. Sadok is about 5'5", 5'6" at most, and he got up on that one.
Yeah, Ben Sadok, not the biggest player, but a sneaky goal scorer. We talked about his rookie season when he was on the all-rookie team. Actually led the league in goals for many weeks. So he can score the goal. He can score in the end zone when needed, and he got it right there. A little bit of a longer point there. Now we're about 2 minutes shaved off, but still relatively quick, fast-paced action as we take another look at this. Carapella was looking, and then right there to Johnson go. And Sadok with the quick cut. This one just up and down with it. I was worried he was going to run into Drost, but the good concentration allowed him to just toe tap it in. So we see this outstretched backhand from Johnson go. And this is a great angle right here. Ben Sadok just getting up and down with it. We'll take a look now back. Empire with their O-line back out there. A low throw, but what a grab. Ethan Fortin, the former Glory player going up against his former team, gets the shoestring catch. Chartok now gives this one to Weinberg. Weinberg with McCann on him. Fortin with a grab, with Oscar Graff being tight on him.
Graff in his first game of the season tonight. College player, finally done with this semester, and he adds even more depth to this D-line.
Yeah, we saw him break out last season, and he will be a welcome addition to an already strong Boston D-line. Little shovel pass to Fortin. Fortin with a nice fake goes to Weinberg. Weinberg looked like he had Williams for a second, ends up giving it to Rushmeyer-Bailey. Or that was Chartok, actually, excuse me.
New York running an empty backfield here, keeping just the one, at most two handlers back.
Ooh, Benyat with a sneaky throw and a good grab by Rushmeyer-Bailey.
Faked out Rushmeyer-Bailey on that even.
Williams trying to get out of pocket, and this one down. Quick look from Yacht. Right in there is Holm, and there's another score. Ben Yacht with his second assist of the day. This one finds Holm into the end zone. New York going up 2-1.
And that's going to be Yacht's game. Just use his size to get the disc in his hands and look at the end zone.
That's going to be Yacht's fifth assist of the season. That ties him with Jack Williams for most for Empire. This is a great grab by Rushmeyer-Bailey, just right there with the left hand, the strong hand for him. And then Yacht in quick transition, just finding Holm easy into the end zone. All right, Cody, so we got some back and forth action here to go. Both teams' offenses looking good to begin play. We'll get the second look now of Boston's offense. Josue Aloro, they'll be pulling this one.
They're running back the line from the last point.
This is a good pull from Aloro. Pretty deep into the end zone. Aloro will be guarding Sadok. There'll be no Brownlee on this line for Boston, or for New York, I should say. Aloro will take over for Brownlee. Here's a nice look to Jeff Babbitt on the sideline. Carapella streaking deep. Babbitt looking for a reset. Ned Dick going out. He finds the reset in Sadok.
Great upline look from Sadok.
Yeah, and he'll get it right back as well, working with Sunday on this one. Waves off Ned Dick. Now Sunday back. Carapella cutting in, faking deep now.
Two handlers set here for Boston, just Sadok and Sunday. Not something we see quite as often. That's a great cut under by Tai Chan.
Tai Chan still forcing sideline now, right back to Sadok. Still sideline with Aloro on Sadok. Chan now working this one, finds Sunday. Sunday with a quick look, able to get it to Ned Dick. Now this one forcing to Simon. He's got Johnson go on the right side. Instead, he'll elect to Ned Dick. Now Carapella giving go option. Carapella toes it in. Good for the score. Boston with another solid run. 2-2 now.
Simon Carapella has done a great job diversifying his game this year. Led the team in goals last year. Currently sits second in assists. Adds a goal on that one. But sets himself up for the give and go with Ned Dick. Yeah, just a quick punch back, and he's just gone.
Yeah, this is just a great move from Simon Carapella. The fake into the quick cut out. Really just right here, just getting the best of his man there. As that was Matthias Ling got the best of him, did Carapella. Just a nice quick step in, step out, finds the end zone.
Ling wasn't ready for that first step at all.
Quick feet from Carapella, and that's why he was the leading goal scorer last year and why he's going to be near the top this season as well. So both teams' offenses looking good to start play. We'll see what the defense can do here for Glory. This just amazing pull from Jonah Stang Osborne can never get, will never get bored of watching this. Yeah, Ethan Fortin just not even going to try to catch it.
Teams have learned pretty quickly that it's not, don't even try to catch it. It is just so unpredictable. It comes in so hot.
That was a great throw by Fortin to split the D. Just got through 3 defenders. Here's Chartok, guarded by Gus Halflin. New York, quick run and gun going. Now Ben Yacht will slow down the pace. Here's Williams. Williams looking deep. He's not going to do it. Instead, he'll reset to Yacht. Yacht working in the handler space. Ruschmeyer-Bailey will give way for this one, and then he'll get it right back. Guarded by Oscar Graf. Ruschmeyer-Bailey gives this one over to Weinberg. Weinberg with a nice find to Holm. Holm with 1 goal already today. Gets out one. Nice grab by Fortin. Authority with it. High release flick. This one floaty. Graf not going to catch up to it, so it's easy for Ruschmeyer-Bailey. A floaty look to Ethan Fortin, but no problem for him.
Ethan Fortin showing off incredible hands here early. Hardy has at least 4 or 5 really difficult catches.
Yeah, and what's interesting is we thought of him as the D-line handler. He's the O-line handler for this game. We'll probably see more of that, and he's been playing very well in the early going. He's looking for something here. He finds it in the form of Weinberg. Weinberg with the quick look. Oh, what a layout attempt from Turner Allen, but it's no good as this one finds Jeff Holm for Holm's 2nd goal of the game. New York, once again, with another score. 3-2 New York, about halfway home here in the first.
More good flowing offense from Empire here early.
Yeah, just splitting the D, and a great bid from Turner Allen just comes up short. Jeff Holm, once again, with his 2nd goal of the game. We'll take a look here. Ethan Fortin with great patience had Ben Katz guarding him. Just the quick find over there to Weinberg, and Weinberg with the quick look. Actually a bit closer than we thought right there, as TA was almost able to get the block on that.
It's a good effort from Turner Allen, and Glory's red zone D-line really been one of their strengths this year.
Yep, we're 5 points into this game so far and no turnovers for either team. Brownlee with the high floaty pull right into the breadbasket of Sadok. Sunday being guarded by, that's Haberfield. Sadok with Brownlee on him. Oh, almost breaks Brownlee's ankles. Works up to Ty Chan now. Ty Chan looking back. He has that throw, but he's not going to do it. Instead, elects for a nice upline to Jeff Babbitt. Or a nice in-cut from Jeff Babbitt, I should say. This one over to Johnson Go now, looking for dump immediately. Johnson Go guarded by Antoine Davis. Antoine Davis, where Empire had just fallen to Davis's old team, the Atlanta Hustle, for their first loss since the 2021 finals against Carolina. New York falling to that team. Sadok now working upfield with it. This one's floaty, tipped away from Haberfield. Haberfield forcing the first turnover of the game. Now Boston's O-line going to have to play defense, and we'll see what New York's D-line is made of. Here's Alati.
And a quick timeout. Alati didn't like it.
Yeah, so I guess scratch that. We won't see what Boston's O-line can do on D and vice versa for New York. We're going to switch them out as we get ready as New York on the first break chance of the game. We'll take a look at this on this floaty throw from Sadok. Just look at that air bounce under it. And Haberfield just able to pounce right on it. Intended for Sunday. Look at this one just float. A wind current just got right under it, and that was no problem for Haberfield to take it down.
Sadok knew as soon as he released it it was going to float a little bit, and it's just too much. And I like the timeout here. This is turning into a game where turnovers are going to be at a premium. If this keeps going the way it is, you got to make the most of them. I like the timeout call.
Yeah, so far both teams playing highly effective on offense. Like we said, 5 points in, and that was the first forced turnover. And New York moving the disc exceptionally well, especially coming after a game where they had 15 turnovers and a game before that in rough conditions, 23 turnovers. So far, 0 turnovers with 4.5 minutes to go into the first quarter.
Another matchup worth watching going to be Chris Bartoli guarding Ben Yacht.
But first, we get the double team. Ethan Fortin just trying to get out. He finds Weinberg. So off of the double team, New York is off and going. Fortin will get it back again on the sideline. A nice fake to Chartok. And then the good in cut from Yacht. Yacht looking, streaking is, I believe that's Williams. Dump over to Fortin to Ruschmeyer-Bailey. They get the good look to Weinberg. Call on the field. Foul on Glory, so Weinberg will get to move the disc up. I believe it was an off-disc call. Bring this one to about 5 yards outside of the end zone. Weinberg looking. He's going to go cross field to a wide open Ben Yacht. Weinberg with his second assist of the game gets that one to Yacht. It's the first break of the game. New York takes a 2-point lead on Boston. 3:31 to go in the first quarter.
Ben Yacht there. Not sure if it was a good cut or if he was just poached in the back of the end zone. I think Glory a little too strong in the handler defense there.
Yeah, they were really trying not to get the quick look on the close side of the end zone, and that just left Ben Yacht wide open for that quick little throw from Weinberg. Here's the D that initially started the play right here from Haberfield. And then just this quick throw, wide open Ben Yacht. Yeah, it just looked like it might have been Borth who was tasked with covering Yacht, but nonetheless, he got away from everybody, and just a nice little throw from Weinberg causes the score. So with that break now, Boston down 2, still extremely early. Sadok works this one to Carapella. Carapella is someone we talked about, and now he's working in the handler space, who has been more and more confident in his throwing ability. Last year, really just known as a goal scorer. Didn't see him sling the disc much. He's getting a lot better with the give and goes actions, and especially with his red zone offense. Carapella now in the cutting space, gets the quick look from Sadok, and then a nice find right there to Sunday. Sunday works this one over to Babbitt. Babbitt looking for a handler. He finds one in Sadok. Sadok guarded by Aloro. Now double teaming him. Aloro switches to Babbitt. Boston working this one up. Babbitt kind of being poached.
Playing very fluid here. Babbitt spent beginning of this point kind of back in the handler space almost.
Yeah, New York kind of playing a little bit more of a zone. Here's the look. This one to the end zone. Aloro up and Johnson go up, and Johnson go comes down with it. First big play of the game. Johnson go hitting the floss. Not much to say about that other than a great play by Tanner Johnson go. Getting the best of Aloro, the mismatch. And when Aloro started to cover the deeper space, I was looking for this matchup on someone. He was guarding Babbitt for a little bit, and then onto Johnson go. So kind of a mismatch situation, was waiting for a play like this, and we see it right here with Tanner Johnson go just coming up and down with it.
It's a good read from Johnson go, too, to realize it's going to die just a little bit. Gets under Aloro and gives him the perfect space.
Yep, so Boston getting it right back now. Now they're going to be looking for a break of their own. Staying Osborne with the pull again. One of the few flick pullers I feel like we see in the UFA. And he just has the absolute power to rip it like that. Ooh, Brennan McCann almost got up to get a piece of that, but Ruschmeyer-Bailey just throws it right over his head. Weinberg thought about it. Double team, throws the over-the-top hammer look to Ruschmeyer-Bailey.
Great make-up speed by Graff to get back into there. Took away the big look.
Boston really working in the double team. You're staying Osborne on the mark. From Chartok over to Ruschmeyer-Bailey again. Empire very patient with it, not forcing anything in the early going. There's a nice cut by Fortin to get the disc right back. Gets the nice in cut as well. Empire not looking for anything fancy from, here's Holm now. Works it up to Chartok. Oliver Chartok playing today without his brother Elliot. Ruschmeyer works it up. Nobody on Ben Yacht whatsoever. I think there's some confusion in Boston's defense. Yacht will just get sling this one over to Weinberg. Now gets this one up to Holm. Empire with good swings here on this possession. Just trying to tire out Boston's defense, and they're doing a good job of it. Jack Williams with it. Now there's some good defense from Boston, but Williams to Ruschmeyer. Bailey to Ben Yacht. Ben Yacht gets his second goal here in the early going. Just good fundamental swings from New York. Patient offense like we talked about at the top of the hour. At the top of the hour, talking about keys of the game. Right there, New York maintaining possession, playing flawlessly.
And as you said, patient offense. Been the name of the game for New York. Takes a lot of time off the clock. That's just textbook end zone cutting.
And TA is upset about a call here. I don't know what he was looking for, unless there was just a miscommunication on defense. But he was upset about something, and I don't know what he was upset about.
Didn't look like there was a defender in the area. I thought it would have been a pick. So I'm wondering if it's just a miscue. Saw some of that on the point.
Really solid crowd out here tonight. Seeing the defending champions Empire come here against Boston, Eastern Division rival. And really, it never gets any better than Boston and New York. Doesn't matter what sport you're watching.
Certainly does not, as this one...
Yeah, this one just sails out of bounds. They'll take it at the brick mark.
So Breckton will be Sadok to pick it up.
Yep, Sadok picking it up. Sadok had 3 assists against DC last week. Also had 4 against Philly, so he had 7 on the weekend as part of the glory leader in assists is Ben Sadok. Had 7 last week. Had 12 coming into today. They'll work this one up to Carapella. Carapella now looking deep for Babbitt with Yacht on him. Jeff Babbitt gets the best of Ben Yacht on that run. That'll be the matchup we're going to want to see throughout the night. Jeff Babbitt just outrunning Ben Yacht. And who else to throw it but Simon Carapella?
That is the second huck we've seen him throw to Jeff Babbitt this season.
And we talked about Carapella being a lot more confident in his throws. He throws that from the 40, and this is just perfect to Jeff Babbitt in the back of the end zone. Nothing Ben Yacht could have done about this as Babbitt comes up with it.
We're seeing great chemistry between the two of them, whether it's cutting off each other or throws like that.
Yeah, we talked about how big of a duo Carapella and Babbitt were going to be coming into the season, and that's one aspect of it I really didn't think about when it came to these two together. I didn't really think about Carapella just slinging it to Babbitt.
Wasn't something anyone expected. His special team situation here. 6 seconds left in the quarter.
See Fortin with it. He's got to throw it. He will. This is a good throw. Very floaty. This might just go out the back.
It will.
He did. He almost threw a field goal. Little too much mustard on it, and that's how the first quarter will end. New York up 5-4 against Boston, and Boston with able to kill the clock, getting the score. That's going to be big for them because Boston will receive the ball to start the second quarter, looking to tie things up in the early going. So, Cody, we're seeing a lot of good offense here to begin the game. Boston with only 1 turnover in that quarter. New York was able to get the break, and New York has yet to turn the disc over, not counting that last-second buzzer beater from Ethan Fortin. I don't know if that technically counts as a turnover. We're going to say it doesn't, as it's just the last-ditch effort. So nonetheless, New York playing a flawless first quarter in terms of offense. and Boston with only one miscue.
Yeah, been a very clean quarter from both teams, as you said. Not a great offense. Boston, much more known this year for their defense. Not something we expected to see this being such an offensive game. But two heavyweights like this, it's never going to disappoint.
Yeah, Boston had been, as we talked about earlier, Boston third in the league in fewest turnovers per game. So their offense showing here in the early going, again, with only one turnover to begin the game. But again, the impressive thing is New York really finding their own right now, moving it well. And we knew coming into this, people were talking about Jeff Babbitt being gone, Ryan Oscar being gone, how New York were going to be. We knew they were still going to be a heavyweight here in the league. We knew that the back-to-back champions were not going anywhere. So it's not like we were expecting them to just lay down and die. This team is still a very dangerous team, and they're playing exceptionally well.
Ben Sadok all smiles, even if he's the only player to throw a turnover so far.
Yeah, I got a little bit of bad luck on it, but nonetheless, Ben Sadok still coming into today as the main handler. 58 receiving yards, only 4 throwing yards, hasn't really unleashed it yet. We know what his potential is able to do. He does have 1 goal so far on the day, 12 assists on the season, 0 tonight, but that's bound to change soon enough.
Empire defense doing a very good job of containing his throws, forcing him to throw for a loss quite a lot. It will be the Glory O-line to start the quarter.
And we're seeing some new faces here for the D-line. We're seeing Mike Drost is out there, along with Connor Russell also out there. Axel Agami-Contreras also out there.
Just the 3rd game of the season for this new look Empire.
Yeah, that's one thing that's interesting coming into this is, like you said, this is only the 3rd game for Empire coming in. This is the 5th for Glory. Glory has not had a bye week yet, and they also played a 2-game road trip, splitting the series, losing to DC and then winning in Philadelphia in convincing fashion. Now coming in looking to beat Empire for the first time in their franchise history.
Empire definitely still sorting out where certain players are going to fit as this one's unleashed.
Yeah, Johnson go, just looking for Tyler Chen. Can Drost get to it? He can't. Tyler Chen right on the goal line. Babbitt looking for a fake cut. He has Drost on him. Instead, Johnson go gets it back. Johnson go running the full length of the field to get that one back after throwing near end zone to end zone. Johnson go, he's had a couple of those on the season. And this one, Ty Chan just breaking deep, nobody on him. That one floating up just a little bit. Looked like Ryan Drost might have had a play on it. Or maybe Mike Drost. One of the Drosts had a chance on it. Instead, Ty Chan comes down with it.
And watch the left side of your screen here. So deceptively quick, Tanner Johnson go.
Yeah, you didn't even expect him. We were looking at Babbitt that whole time, and Johnson go just coming up and being like, hey, I'm right here, man. And he gets it right back. So Boston, as we talked about, they start the quarter with the disc, and that comes into their favor, tying it up now 5-5 on a throw you will definitely see in the highlights from Tanner Johnson go. Tanner Johnson go has just been a major asset coming back to Glory after not playing for them last year. He has been huge for him, had a pretty good away series as well last week as he was up in the leaderboard in goals and assists for both teams. Had 3 assists against Philadelphia. Also had exactly 3 assists against Philadelphia. Here's Fortin with it. Fortin with a sneaky throw finds his man. And New York will just work this one up. Here's Chartok. Chartok with Holm with it. Instead, he's going to shoot to the end zone. Nice and easy find to Jack Williams. Jack Williams will get, I believe, his first goal of the day. I believe that's 5 for him on the season. This is just a good look right here from Chartok. He had Holm at first, instead Chartok just cutting deep and really just deceptive on this one. Got away from his man. Was guarded by Peter Borth. Yeah.
It was.
Peter Borth just didn't keep up with him, maybe just didn't see him cut deep for him. Kind of looked behind him. I think he was anticipating that Holm was going to get the disc. Therefore, I think he was thinking that Williams was going to cut back in. Instead, Chartok just cuts out the middleman and instead shoots it to Williams.
He was. Borth there was really playing for the under. That close to the end zone, you've got to be ready to contain.
This one gets chucked to roll right outside of the end zone. So New York with the double team. It is Haberfield along with Brownlee guarding Sunday. This is a great mark. And they get the hand block. Haberfield with his second block of the game. New York with the chance to break, looking for their second. Here's Brownlee. Brownlee will swing it over. Drost now, the Ryan variety. Brownlee with it now, guarded by Sadok. Brownlee with a nice little look to Alati. There's a call on the play. Are they saying Alati was down?
That was a push off on the cutter downfield, illegal contact.
Nope, they're going to say a foul.
Move the Frisbee back, I believe.
So it's Alati. They're calling a push off on Alati.
Some head touching.
Alati doesn't like it.
A little bit of confusion.
Yeah, the refs are talking about it.
They're going to go back and do exactly
And
30 seconds ago.
And they will. They're going to bring it back to Brownlee. Here's the turn. Here's Haberfield with just a great hand block right there. So New York has forced 2 Boston turnovers so far, and both of them has been because of Haberfield. So New York, after the penalty, they're going to be working it back upfield. Here's Davis, gets it to Brownlee. Davis now cutting back into the handler space with the reset. Davis guarded by Carapella. Davis will just swing it over, finding Labar. Oh, Brownlee with the hammer, but it just can't get to Davis. Marquez Brownlee trying to bust out the hammer to Davis, but it falls short. That's the first turnover for New York now.
Wasn't ready for it. Davis had his back to it. Didn't know it was coming up. And just couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, Brownlee likes that hammer. We were talking about it before the broadcast. Marquez Brownlee, not one of the throwers you usually think about in the league, but one that you should definitely take into consideration. Here's a nice hard throw from Johnson Go, finding Babbitt. Cutting deep, I think that's Sunday.
That is Sunday. He came out of the handler space.
Oh, run through from Drost, but Simon Carapella comes up with it. Carapella with a floaty one to Tyler Chan. No problem for him. Chan undersized, but does not play like it.
He does not. He plays like he's Jeff Babbitt, calling Sunday the big around.
Looking for Babbitt, who comes up and down, gets the best of Haberfield. Jeff Babbitt, second goal of the game, ties it up. 8:49 to go in the quarter. Jeff Babbitt gets the best of Haberfield.
And that is a big hold for Boston. First time this game we've seen a team earn it back after a turn.
I know it's early in this game, but that's going to be one that Boston definitely wanted, definitely needed. Here's the block from Haberfield that started the play. And then right here, yeah, Davis was not ready to cut in on that, and it was just underthrown from him. This is a great throw by Sunday. Nice little inside, nice little outside in backhand finding Babbitt.
Very underrated throw back into that hammer space, excuse me. Throwing a big around backhand like that.
Ethan Fortin plays it actually very nicely on that spike from Stang Osborne. That's one that could easily get away from you if you're not ready for it. This is a good mark, too, from Glory. Chartok trying to reset. New York still pretty deep into their own end zone. Ruschmeyer Bailey gets this one to Weinberg. Weinberg guarded by Webb. Now moves it back up to Fortin, who will give it to Ruschmeyer Bailey. And finally now creating some space. Here's Holm with it. Holm still with it. Finds Fortin on the up line.
Oh, great from Oscar Graff to take away that big. Fortin wanted it.
Oh, here's a tight play from Stang Osborne. Too much contact on Chartok, so Chartok will move it up. Those two are having a little conversation about it. Stang Osborne smiling, though, so it doesn't seem to be anything about it. Chartok gonna throw this one away.
Turner Allen.
Yeah, just out of my sight line for a second, but Turner Allen comes up with it. So there's another turnover for New York. Boston with their first break chance. Staying Osborne. Thought about looking deep for a second, doesn't have an option. Instead, he'll work it with McCann. McCann getting his first touches of the game.
Not something you see often. It's a three-handler set on a D-line. Cats staying Osborne and McCann.
Yep, staying Osborne with it. He has McCann with him. He's going to sling this one over to Allen. TA looking to split the D. Had Halflin for a second. Decides not to go for it. Staying Osborne instead will go to Halflin. Halflin with a nice find over there to Webb. Webb working for Graff. The run through. Some contact on it, but they're going to say Graff dropped it. I don't even think that the New York defender really got a hand on it. I think Graff just couldn't hang on to it. So New York gets it right back. The chance for the hold. Here's Williams. Floaty up, and he comes down with it, does Yacht. Yacht with Allen on him. Yacht with a great grab. Williams now
Allen
works
nearly
it up.
his second block of the point.
And New York trying to calm down. Here's Williams. He has Yacht coming in. Doesn't give it to him. Instead, works it over to Ruschmeyer-Bailey. Williams with a nice snag. An immediate throw to Ben Yacht. Now looking this one for Williams. He lays out. He's got it. Ben Yacht to Jack Williams. Jack Williams looking like the UFA logo on that play.
And that's a big layout from him. It was way in front of him.
Yep, the one-handed grab gives New York the lead, 7-6. And now we talked about Boston getting an important hold earlier. That one big for New York. Now, Williams on the ground, though, appears to hopefully not be injured on that play, but might just have the wind knocked out of him. As we see here. This was the play Turner Allen just intercepted, and then right there, I think that's Weinberg, who might have gotten a hand on it. And then right here, the give and go. Yeah, right there. I think that, if anything, Jack Williams just got the wind knocked out of him on this play right here. Just a great grab from him, though. This one just near out the back of the end zone. Sadok will catch it.
If I was Sadok, I might have let that one drop.
I think he just didn't want the defense to have a chance to set up. But they're still trying to work out of the end zone anyway. Here's a Loro on the mark. Sadok works it down the sideline. Johnson Go will take it. Boston deep in their own end zone still. Sounded like a whistle for a second.
There was a whistle.
And we'll see for what.
Looking like a foul on the defense. Boston catches a break, and that'll get it out of the end zone.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, must be something to play away from the disc, so Boston will take it on the goal line instead. Now works it back. Still in their own end zone. This is great defense from New York. Almost a Callahan from Sam Jonas. Almost had a hand on that one. Here's Dick. Dick looking deep. Dick unleashing. Nobody on Jeff Babbitt. Runs it down.
Nearly undercut that to Jeff Babbitt.
That's a way to get out of your end zone. Here's Johnson Go. Works it over and gets it right back. Johnson Go in the handler space. Slings this one over to Sadok. He can't get to it. Tripped over for a second. Not sure if he would have even had a chance at it anyway. So now New York with another chance to break.
It'll be a timeout for New York.
Yep, New York uses their second timeout. They'll bring out the O-line to try to get a 2-point lead. And with the way this game is going, Cody, breaks are going to be crucial. They're going to be very important when you can get them.
They are. Break percentages early. 1 for 8 New York, 0 for 7 Boston. Just the one break today, and Sadok just couldn't get up to it.
As we see here, it's debatable if Sadok was going to be able to get to that. But he got tripped up by the turf monster on it, so he was not able to even have a chance at catching up to it. Topher Davis appearing to be out there on D-line, along with Brendan McCann. Ben Katz out there, Chris Bartoli, of course, Peter Borth out there as well, Turner Allen taking his place out there. Rushmeyer Bailey will be the one to start with the disc, has Ethan Fortin as his other handler, guarded by Gabe Colton. The quick look to Fortin near the goal line. Gets it to Williams. Colton doing a good job on Fortin. Williams will get this one up to Weinberg. Weinberg now back to Fortin. Little high release. New York just working this one up easily. Works that one to home now. Yeah, New York just running and gunning. Nothing too crazy going on here. Just splitting the D. Boston just unable to keep up. Fortin gets the swing. Rushmeyer Bailey, the southpaw, will get this one over to Weinberg now. Weinberg with 2 assists today, looking for a third. Instead, he'll just get this one to Yacht, who gets bumped. So he'll get to center this one right at the front of the goal line. Bartoli losing his balance.
Contact after the catch. New York will walk into the end zone and center it.
Not just unfortunate for Bartoli, just loses his footing a bit.
So we'll see Yacht with it at the front of the goal line. New York, he's got Fortin in the backfield, and that's exactly who he'll find. A great effort from, I think that was McCann.
It was Brendan McCann.
Ethan Fortin just wide open in the backfield and gets rewarded. Ben Yacht. Ben Yacht with another
McCann was
assist.
supposed to be on him. Had poached off a little bit, tried to get up for it, just couldn't get high enough.
We'll see here the turnover again. The throwaway from Tanner Johnson-Go. And right there, yes, McCann almost with the tip on it. Matter of inches.
That's one of those, when it's I.O. like that, I think if McCann went for the lower part of the disc, he had it. I think it was that close.
Nonetheless, it's the score in the second break for New York. 8-6 now, New York. Brownlee with the pull. Johnson-Go will be tasked to catch this one. Johnson-Go in the backfield with Sadok. Carapella with the disc gets it to Johnson-Go. Johnson-Go being guarded by Breton Tan into the game. More of the same. Boston just trying to work out of their end zone. Carapella does get out of the end zone, finding Ned Dick. Dick slips up, but he catches it and then splits the D to Tyler Chan. We got someone cutting in the backfield now, cutting in. I think that's Sunday. Ned Dick floating this one for Babbitt. Babbitt with 2 men on him, and he can't get to it. It's Breton Tan getting the best of Jeff Babbitt. Don't see that too often. And
it's not somebody who loses many 50-50s. Just couldn't get up for that one.
Yeah.
1-on-2.
Tan with a good job. And now we'll see what New York can do if they can get another break. Haberfield sets this one to Brownlee. Brownlee, though, with the throwaway. Alati just cutting too hard. Brownlee not expecting him to go that far. Just cuts off his man. Boston with the chance to hold. Ben Sadok just saying, let's chill a little bit. Gets it to Dick. Dick with the quick look to Carapella. Can't catch it on the layout. Carapella's mad. He thought he could have grabbed that one. So now New York with another chance to break. Boston with the quick turnover. And we're starting to see more turnovers, Cody, in what was a clean game to start the first quarter. The second quarter, a little bit of a different story now as we're starting to see some more turnovers stack up. Here's Tan.
Things are starting to settle down. Wind looking like it picked up a tiny bit looking at those trees to the far side.
Oh, what a D, but it stays up and finds Dross. Colin Sunday with a great effort, but just an unfortunate play if you're Glory. And then here's the look from Haberfield into the end zone for Ryan Drost. That's another break for New York, and that brings up the lead to 3, the biggest lead of the game so far.
Last couple points for Boston, kind of feeling like you just can't catch a break. The around from Johnson go to Sadok was just too far. The block from Sundee again here.
Yeah, even Babbitt had a hand on it and just couldn't get it. It was good contention from Tan. And there we see here the mishap from Brownlee. And then Carapella just can't reach that one. Went for it with the right hand instead of the left. And then here's the nice throw that finds Drost. Haberfield with the nice OI flick right to Drost.
And Boston here calling a timeout.
Yep, Ryan Drost, the 10-year veteran, known for being the D-line player, rewarded with the goal there. If there's one thing that New York brings into this, it's experience. Only 2 rookies on the roster, and neither of them are rostered today. Excuse me, I believe 3 rookies, and I believe none of them are rostered today. Next lowest is some of their players, 2 years of experience, such as Haberfield, who just threw it, along with Ling, also a 2-year player. Other than that, though, Ben Yacht with 10 years of experience. Can you believe that, Cody? Already 10 years in the league as one of the league's best players.
He is, and it's been quite the ride for him. 3 championships in that time. Talked about Jeff Babbitt. He's another one of the dynasty builders for New York.
Alora will be the one pulling. And this looking like a great pull by them. And it is getting to the back of the end zone. Sundee comes up with it. Boston able to get out of the end zone rather quickly this time, though, as Johnson Go works this one up to Carapella. Carapella will just shovel it. Wanted the quick look back from Sadok, and Sadok faked it. Even faked me out. I thought he was going to throw that one. Gets it to Sundee instead, then Sundee works it up to Johnson Go. Johnson Go to Babbitt. Sundee more working downfield rather than in the handler space we've been seeing these last couple points. Now back in the handler space as Tai Chan works it to Sadok. Sadok up for the end zone. Coming into it is Johnson Go. Able to cut off Antoine Davis on that. Davis was hunting. Johnson Go with the nice in cut and stayed into the end zone. Definitely prioritizing the disc over the goal, but stays in nonetheless.
Great heads-up play from Johnson Go. Kind of on all over the field on that point. You talked about Sundee being in the hammer space. Johnson Go is such a versatile player. He can cut or he can handle. And his size makes him such a threat on both sides. I'll take another look at this one.
Yeah, here's the look from Chan. And then the throw from Sadok right there. It looked like it was going to be underthrown for a second with Antoine Davis hunting it. But a nice change of direction from Johnson Go, allowing for the Boston score.
Johnson Go realizing he's going to need to high point that a little bit with Antoine Davis right there.
Johnson Go having a great game. 1 assist, 3 goals, and had that absolute bomb that was just shy of the end zone that ended up actually being his own goal.
7 seconds left here. Haflin and Babbitt in the backfield playing prevent. 2 seconds and 1, throws up. It's going to be short.
Very low throw finds Gus Haflin, and that's how the half will end. New York up 9-7 at the half. Cody, this has been a very exciting one. This is definitely a game that we were expecting to be excited about.
This is very back and forth game. A lot of great offense. Defense is starting to settle in as the second quarter went on. Saw a lot more turnovers then.
Yeah, very clean first quarter, gives way to some more defense on the second quarter. That's how the half will end. New York will start with the disc, looking to extend the lead to 3. Boston looking to shut that down. As we take a look at what the teams are doing. Here after the first half, New York 9, Boston 7 offensive possessions right there. Break chances, Boston 0 for 1, New York 3 for 5. New York perfect in their own red zone, but have not been able to record a huck yet. And so far, 6 turnovers on Glory, 5 turnovers on New York. All of those turnovers for New York coming into the second quarter. So nonetheless, that is how we end the first half. Stay here for the second half. We'll be right back from Hormel. Boston versus New York. We'll be right back.
This Saturday, the 2024 UFA playoffs begin with a gigantic battle in Boston. The two-time defending champion New York Empire try to keep their season alive against old friend Jeff Babbitt and the Boston Glory. Opening poll scheduled Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. and broadcast exclusively on WatchUFA.tv.
And we're back, getting ready for the third quarter here from Hormel Stadium here in Medford, Massachusetts. It's Boston versus New York, the much-anticipated game. Jeff Babbitt and Ben Katz going up against their former team. And New York Empire, New York leading so far right now 9-7 after the first half of play. Getting to some talk about who has been big impact for this game. And right now it's none other than Ben Yacht. Ben Yacht has been huge for New York so far. Cody, let's talk a little bit about what Ben Yacht has been doing this game.
Ben Yacht had a great game so far today, leading all players 4 assists here at the half. And it's been a lot of that too, scoring a couple of goals, 2 goals on some good cutting.
Yep, so far it has been the Ben Yacht show from New York. Much as we expected Ben Yacht, an MVP 2 seasons ago, we expected him to flourish once again, being moved back to O-line after he was moved to D-line a season ago. The back-to-back champion still playing at that high level that we expect him to play. So yeah, Ben Yacht been all over the place for New York. We take a look at his stats. 12 for 12 in completion, 77 throwing yards along with 124 receiving yards, 2 goals and 4 assists to cap off. So what has so far been an amazing night for Ben Yacht.
200 yards in the first half, nothing to shake a stick at all. It's been a good night for him. We're seeing versatility. He's jumping out of the handler space more than he has in years past, kind of playing that role Jeff Babbitt used to play for New York, where he's that kind of deep threat cutter that can make the occasional under as well.
Yep, and we're seeing a lot more different players play in that handler space for New York, especially now we're seeing Ethan Fortin being the main handler for this Empire team, a team now that does not have former MVP Ryan Osgar, so we're seeing different players kind of step up big for this team. Boston so far. Boston played extremely well in the first quarter. Both teams did. Only 1 turnover between both teams in the first quarter. The second quarter, a little bit of a different story. Cody, so far we have 6 turnovers for Boston, 5 for New York, I believe. Majority of those coming in, I believe it's 5 turnovers each in the second quarter alone.
It is. We had just the 1 turnover in the first quarter. It was the New York break. And both quarters so far decided by just 1 goal, both in New York's favor. 5-4 in the first, 4-3 in the second. Very back and forth game. New York just finding that ever so slight edge that they've needed.
So we're going to need... So when what we've been looking for too, Boston, their receiving core and big player so far has been Simon Carapella right now. 2nd in receiving yards league-wide, just under first place. And right behind him also is Tyler Chan. They're just under first place, and after this game, we'll see just where they'll be.
All right.
Ty Chan, very interesting player. He's always kind of been a flex player for Boston, slotting a lot more into the O-line this year.
Yeah,
he's been enjoying it. I talked to him a little bit. Says he likes to play O-line. He doesn't mind playing D, but considers O-line to be his bread and butter.
And they're professionals, so they're just so used to going out there doing their job. It was funny, we actually talked to Simon and Ty before the game. We let them know where they stand league-wide, and their pretty much response was, "Oh, really? That's cool." Just such a reaction you expect from them. But, you know, that's just them. They're out there playing Ultimate. They're not worried about their stats. They're just out there to do the best they can to help their team win.
Two offensive guys that care a lot more about results than stats, and that's what you want to see. So it will be New York's disc to start the third quarter, chance to go up 3.
Yeah, Boston's D-line will be back out there as we get ready to begin play in the third quarter. Second half action here from Hormel.
No Stang Osborne on this point. It'll be McCann to pull.
Yeah, Stang Osborne will get a rest. And we see the usual core, I believe, out there for New York. Chartok, Rushmeyer Bailey, Ethan Fortin, among others. Ben Yacht out there, of course. McCann with a nice pull. Works this one up to Weinberg. New York looking to tie the biggest lead of the game, trying to get up by 3. Rushmeyer Bailey finds a nice pass to Ben Yacht, who works it up, just splitting the defense, gaining many yards on these last couple throws. Now they'll work it back to Rushmeyer Bailey. Jack Williams at the logo, looking downfield, now looking back. Dumps to Rushmeyer Bailey, who does a give and go to Williams. Rushmeyer Bailey now cutting to midfield. Williams will swing it back over. Rushmeyer Bailey just never stops running.
Player like him is great in the offense that New York's been running tonight. This empty backfield, a hammer huck to Yacht. Yes.
Yacht
just
poster.
Short.
Yep, just short, but getting over Luke Webb. That's a tough man to get through. And the sneaky backhand gets it to Ethan Fortin. What a play from Ben Yacht. Ben Yacht has been going crazy this game. That's his 5th assist.
5 assists now for Ben Yacht. And as I was saying, New York running a kind of empty backfield set. Only person backs person with the disc, and they're cutting that front cutter back into the space, and it's creating so much separation for them.
Yeah, this is a deceptively tough throw from Ben Yacht. Ben Yacht using all of his length on this to get around Luke Webb. A little high riser to Ethan Fortin for no problem. Just right here, kind of falling through, giving the body up for the point. And that ties the biggest lead of the game for New York now, up 3, 10-7 now in the very early going here in the third. New York's offense has been playing a great game so far, and that's one of their points as this one goes out of bounds.
Pull was from Marquez Brownlee.
Yeah, Brownlee, pretty much the main puller here. He's been switching out with Aloro as well. Those two have been the main pullers for this Empire team.
And it'll be Brownlee to Mark Sunday.
They're going to double team him along with Haberfield. Instead, they find Dick. Dick being guarded by Shank. Here's Chan with it now. Brings this one up to Babbitt. Babbitt has Chan streaking. Babbitt's not going to throw it. Instead, he'll dump it over to Dick.
We know Babbitt has that deep throw. We've seen it from him before.
Yeah, prefers to work it up methodically, though. As
Great strike.
Yep, Carapella then gets it to Babbitt on the strike cut. Here's Sunday. Sunday's got Sadok. Instead, he gets it to Dick. Dick with a Lottie on him. Works it to Sadok with Brownlee on him. Oh, miscue on that play as Ben Sadok wanted the upline. Dick wanted the swing, and instead it's a turnover.
And it's been those arounds for Boston, those kind of I.O. swings that have really been giving them trouble tonight. Not the first incompletion we've seen on that throw. Issues in communication between the handlers.
New York now trying to catch the break. Haberfield looking for Davis, too strong. Davis with no shot at getting that one. Goes way out the back. Boston catches a break. Gets a chance now for a hold. Sunday's going to rip it deep. Ty Chan chasing after it. Will he get to it? He will in stride. How about that for receiving yards? Ben Sadok now with it. Ty Chan going left. It's Carapella. What a layout attempt, but Carapella gets the goal. What a throw from Colin Sunday. What a sequence of events.
And that is how quickly a point can turn in the UFA.
Yeah,
From turnover in the end zone to goal on the other side in 3 throws.
Talk about redemption on a play. What a throw. Colin Sunday just unleashing it. And Ty Chan, I wasn't sure about. Ty Chan is probably one of the fastest runners you'll see out here. Just absolutely tracking that down and catching it in perfect stride. And then having the wherewithal to be chilly. Had a little bit of a tight window there with Carapella with the layout attempt on Empire. And here's where we see the miscue as Dick just getting the turnover. Right here, Haberfield too strong. And then this one, Ty Chan just absolutely running down a picture-perfect throw.
He was in a size mismatch, too. That is perfectly placed from Colin Sunday, and a great cut from Carapella to finish it.
Yeah, nice, tough play. I think that was Drost who had the layout bid, but Carapella comes away with it. And I think that's actually Ben Sadok's first assist of the game. You have to fact-check me on that, but I believe that's what happened.
That is his second.
Second of the game. Williams works it to midfield with Holm. Holm on the around. Gets it to Chartok. Chartok now with the up and over. Here's Ben Yacht now. Ben Yacht with 5 assists. Could be looking for 6. He's going to look for somebody. Works it upfield to Chartok.
Oscar Graff did a great job there taking away the dump.
Chartok will shovel it. Weinberg looking for something. He does into the end zone, but he hurt himself. Score is on Ethan Fortin. And I believe that's Weinberg on the ground. As Ethan Fortin catches the goal. Second goal of the quarter.
There's a Weinberg, but he's up on his own. Always what you want to see.
Yeah, he was just looking for something. Right there, it looked like he stepped kind of awkwardly. Might have pulled something, maybe just a cramp. We hope it's not anything serious. As we see here, Weinberg went out, and it's right there that he kind of pulls something in his leg. The offhand assist, but we just hope for the best for Charles Weinberg. He's been playing a good game. I believe that was his 3rd assist of the game, so he's been having a good game, so we hate to see that happen.
That's a pull that came in hot for Ned Dick.
Yeah, next lead is back up to 3. Here's Carapella with the hard fake on the backhand. Now has the backhand open again. They want to force him to throw that. Johnson go now. They don't want him to throw it. They do want him to throw that, though. Spikes it right into the ground, and here's another chance for New York with a chance to extend this lead to 4 and start to go away with it. Here's Russell.
Babbitt with the layout attempt.
And Russell will get the quick little backhand, finding Sam Jonas, and it's another break for New York on Boston's mistake. New York now up 4, their biggest lead of the game. Boston having some miscues here in the later half.
Not much you can do there. Johnson go just has it slip out of his hand, it looks like.
Yeah, maybe we'll take a look at it. Here's the throw from Russell to Jonas. Nice, easy point. Stress-free on that.
And it's a good strike to finish it. 12-8 now. Glory switch things up a bit on O-line. Peter Borth rotates in. Ty Chan takes one off.
Yeah, Ty Chan, we see him play both ends of the ball. I'll take a break for this point. Pull by Brownlee is short of the end zone. Brownlee on Sadok. Sadok thought about it. Instead, he'll dump. Sunday looking.
Borth is poached on the near side.
And now cutting deep. Carapella chooses to work it up with Babbitt. Cutting deep now is Borth. Borth still looking for it. He's not getting it.
Gets waved off.
Babbitt in the handler space now. Looking for a strike cut from Dick. Doesn't get it. Instead works for the around to Carapella. Carapella comes down with it nicely. Now up to Sunday.
And there's that unexpected chemistry. Again, Carapella realizes the big man needs help.
Borth really wants this one deep. Keeps cutting back. This one to Babbitt. Now finally Borth gets the disc. Johnson go on the strike with Davis on him. Peter Borth will work this one back to Sadok. Now with the swing to Johnson go. Floaty one, no problem for Carapella. And he gets blocked. What a play, Ryan Drost with the hand block. Second hand block we've seen from Empire in the game. This one floaty for Brownlee. He stays in, gets bumped by Sadok, no call.
Strong handler D tonight. As you said, second hand block of the game.
Matt Labar will try to center this one. He will. End zone. Ryan Drost gets the bookends. And just like that, New York up 5 in this lead, getting tougher and tougher for Boston to come back from.
Just under 5.5 to go in the third, and that's just New York's defense been great tonight. Second hand block of the game. Boston has just one all year. It was the foot block, you remember, week 1. Jonas Stang Osborne just threw the left foot out. New York with 2 on the night.
Yep, Ryan Drost, the veteran, gets it. Ryan Drost, his second goal of the game, 77 receiving yards, so he's making it count. Right there, just the hand block on Carapella. And it's like you said, Cody, it's these backhand arounds that have been Glory's kryptonite today. And then Drost rewarded on the nice throw, getting his second goal of the game.
It has, and that is not something that Boston have had an issue with in the past of those arounds. Just giving them trouble tonight.
Brownlee will get a point off. Aloro back into the game. Topher Davis out there now for Boston's O-line. We've seen him play both ends. Haven't seen a lot of him in this game.
Gus Haflin also out there now, looking to add a little more size. Turner Allen.
Yeah, we talk about big. Turner Allen also out there. Gus Haflin, really, this might be, aside from when they throw their really big lineup out, this might be the first time we've really seen Gus Haflin on O. Layout, can't catch it. I believe that's Brendan McCann also out there. Aloro with it. Aloro with it again.
Boston rolling a hybrid line here, just trying to right the ship.
Yeah, just trying to get something, anything to work. There's a run through D by McCann, but a whistle, perhaps. Oh, I think they wanted a timeout.
New York is very unhappy.
Yeah, I think New York wanted a timeout, but didn't get it in time.
The confusion as to whether or not coaches should be on the field in the middle of a play. What do you guys think? Should coaches be on the field in the middle of a play?
Coach arguing. Refs discussing. We'll see what happens. Coach does not look happy.
We pause here on a streak of 3 straight goals for New York, 2 consecutive breaks. Three officials now involved in this.
And finally he's vacating the field. Nope. Yep. So after the discussion, we'll see how the play stands.
Glory's still standing over the disc. Brendan McCann.
Yep.
Topher Davis, the one to pick up.
And we'll see what the officials say. As of now, it's a run through D. A clean block.
They're not moving the disc back, and that makes me believe it's going to be Boston disc. It will be. Brendan McCann picks up.
So Brendan McCann will be credited with the block. Boston going to look for the hold. Here's Davis. And now the ref's calling something else.
Contact off the disc.
Yep. So now,
delay a game, I believe I saw a hand signal for.
So delay a game, so they'll get to move it up even more. Here's Davis at the logo. Davis looking for somebody. He has McCann, who works it back nicely. Back to Davis. Cutting in now is Johnson. Go! He's got it! What a layout from Johnson Go, preventing the turnover. A little somersault action. And another layout, this one from Tyler Chan. Wow, Boston working extremely hard for this one.
They are. And with a long stoppage like that, where you get a call to go in your favor, you really want to finish it out. Gives you a lot of believability. And Boston knows that in this point.
Here's Topher Davis. Here's one thing interesting in a mission. Oh, this one, Turner Allen comes up with it. We're definitely going for a bigger lineup here from Boston. Allen might be injured. Might have hurt his hand on that play. But no Ben Sadok on this offensive point. Turner Allen appearing to have injured his wrist. He's going to come off. We'll see who comes on for him. It's Ned Dick coming on for him. Dick will pick up the disc.
Will be Ned Dick.
Yep, Ned Dick, the first-year captain. His first year captaining, that is, not a first-year player for Glory. McCann with it now, guarded by Drost. And they're working their way back. New York doing a great job making Glory go back. McCann will work this one up to Dick. Dick looking downfield, see his options, guarded by Davis. Babbitt now into the handler space, he gets to it. Dick now cutting out, now trying to cut back in, trying to really work off Davis. Davis all over him like a cheap suit, almost gets the D. Instead, Dick comes away with it, gets it to Babbitt. Now Johnson Go.
Wanted something big, no one's there.
Instead, he'll resort to the dump for Ned Dick. They go with Ned Dick for Turner Allen. They get some more throwers on this line. Sacrificing a little bit of size. Davis can't get that one. Antoine Davis been all over the disc despite not being able to get a block, and desperation layout by Topher Davis. This has been a long point. Here's Dick. Gets it to Halflin now. A rare O point for Halflin, goes up for Babbitt. He's got it. Jeff Babbitt gets it. Boston finally gets something, but oh no. Babbitt looks like he's hurt, but he gets up. And he's walking it off okay, so we hope the best for Jeff Babbitt, but an unbelievable play. Gus Halflin gets his first assist of the game.
He got all the way up on that. Jeff Babbitt, that's his specialty.
We see here the initial turnover. McCann couldn't get to it. But then he gets it right back on the run through D. Right here, the tip from, I believe that was Agami Contreras, but it was caught by Johnson Go. And then Ty Chan immediately after with the one-handed grab. This is just an unbelievable point, a marathon point right there. Everyone laying it out. That's the play that Turner Allen appeared to have hurt his wrist on. And then finally, the merciful end to this point. Gus Halflin almost overthrew his man, but Babbitt comes down with it, doing Jeff Babbitt things and scoring.
It's very difficult to overthrow Jeff Babbitt in just about any situation. Got real high on that, and I think that's kind of why he took a second to get up.
Yeah, it came down pretty hard, it looked like. Hopefully it's just a little bit of shock and nothing serious. We'll see it on the next O point that Boston plays. So with that, Boston now down 4 with 2:15 to go in the third. Jeff Babbitt so far this game, perfect, 19 for 19, 48 throwing yards, along with 254 receiving yards and 3 goals. He's getting checked out by the physical therapist. Shout out to our physical therapist, Delaney, taking care of Jeff Babbitt right now.
And Jonas Sang Osborne pulling this one from midfield.
Yeah, but nice job by Fortin, able to play that. Kind of played it, had like a shortstop, stopping the roller from going any further than it needed to. Rushmeyer Bailey gets it back to Fortin. Ethan Fortin's been playing a pretty good game today.
He has. He has been all over the field for New York.
Has a couple goals, a couple assists, I believe. Jack Williams goes for the scoober. Can Luke Webb get to it? No, he can't. Instead, Holm comes down with it. Chartok thought about it. He has someone in the backfield, but now cutting in. Chartok still with it, gets Williams. Williams being guarded by Borth. Williams will then get it back to Chartok again. Back to Rushmeyer-Bailey now. Matt Labar out there on offense. Labar in double coverage now gets it over to Williams. Or actually, excuse me. That's Rushmeyer-Bailey. Ben Yacht now with it, gets his first touches of the possession, gets it right back again, guarded by Chris Bartoli. Bartoli tight on him. Floaty to Fortin, but ton of space. He's got a hammer looking for Chartok. Picture perfect throw from Ethan Fortin. Finding Chartok all the way. New York extends it back to 5.
Chartok all alone there. Great cut to get Peter Borth off him.
Yeah, and this game starting to get not as close as we thought it was going to be, Cody. Boston going to really have to go on a run to bring this one back. As there's the over-the-top from Ethan Fortin, finding Oliver Chartok all alone in the backfield.
Not unheard of. We've seen Boston already make a few comebacks this year. But under a minute to go in the third quarter, things are slowly ticking away. Jeff Babbitt back on the field.
Which is good to see. We hoped for the best that he wouldn't get hurt. As Brownlee rips this one. A very majestic pull from Marquez Brownlee. A little too majestic. It just flies out the backfield.
The patience from Colin Sunday.
Yeah, he could have tried to catch it if he wanted to, but just that could have gone one of two ways. It would have either been the most perfect pull you have ever seen in your life and a very difficult chance for Boston to get out of their own end zone, or it can be just like that and just sails right out and Boston can take it to the brick mark.
Either way, New York get the same result. They do get to set up on the Boston O-line.
Yeah, New York's defense has been playing great, especially in this second half. See if Boston has an answer for them. Sadok with the strike behind the back. Thought about ripping it. Haven't seen too much. He's going over the top hammer. Johnson got to go for it. He does. Actually, that's Babbitt, excuse me. Babbitt, this time now to Johnson go. Works this one back up to Babbitt. Babbitt appears to be moving just fine.
He does. Seeing him, nothing new tonight, playing in that short field space quite a lot. Back in the handler space or striking.
Got 15 seconds to go here in the third. Boston still with time. Babbitt with the disc, gonna send this one. Blady throw that Ty Chan comes down with. And the extra throw for the score with 5 seconds to spare. Jeff Babbitt showing his throwing. Tyler Chan showing his catching, and it's a Boston score.
And that was a heater from Jeff Babbitt. That was coming in red hot for Ty Chan. About an 80-degree angle on it. Yep. Ty Chan, one of the best catches you'll see all week.
Yeah, here's the initial hammer to Babbitt. This one just floaty. Babbitt came down with it. Had a good spring in it. And right here, Babbitt wasn't sure who he was looking for, and a really tight throw that was almost eaten up by Haberfield, but nonetheless, Ty Chan just snagging it out of the air, something he does time and time again. What a player is Ty Chan. That is all we have to say about that man.
Ty Chan, a fantastic, versatile player.
Oh, this disc is about to get so tacoed. Just such an angle that, oh, Ethan Fortin.
Had to, no time on the clock, and that looked like it might have gotten hit, and nope, he hit the ground.
Would have been an insane play to end if it did. We'll hopefully can maybe see that on replay, as that was possibly tipped to end it. Fortin with the full head of steam. Nonetheless, that is how the third will end. 14-10, New York up 4. Boston will receive the disc to start the fourth quarter, trying to cut it out the gate, lead to 3, but nonetheless, they got some work to do coming up.
Boston gets last point, which is going to be very important for them getting the disc here again. No concerns about Jeff Babbitt anymore after that jump.
Yeah, Jeff Babbitt definitely looking good out there. Babbitt today with 3 goals, along with nearly with over 350 total yards today. That actually doesn't even lead Glory in total yards today. Ty Chan, 365 total yards, enough for 1 yard for every day of the year. Ty Chan has just been great today. 2 assists on the day. Could have been credited for some goals, it looked like, but had a couple goal line catches, especially that one there from Babbitt. Babbitt credited with the hockey assist on that.
No goals for him, 2 assists, both come on, as you said, goal line catches. He has really been relishing that new O-line assignment he's gotten this year.
And you know who else is having a sneaky good game that we've talked about a little bit, but just not as much as we've seen, is Ethan Fortin with 1 assist, 3 goals, 359 total yards. That's second for the game, leads Empire. Colin Sunday also with nearly 350 yards. So some players out here really showing their worth out here.
Sunday, another good player tonight. Kind of the primary hooker for the Glory O-line.
As we're getting ready here for the 4th and final quarter, New York up by 4. New York trying to extend their undefeated streak against Glory. Have never lost to Glory since Glory's inception back in 2021. I mean, in that span, Empire has barely lost any games, period. They lost to Atlanta this season, snapping their over 30 win streak regular season. They hadn't lost a game since the 2021 finals against Carolina. Before that, they hadn't lost a regular season game. That's until that same season also against Atlanta. So the 3-time champions coming back out. As we get ready for the 4th and final quarter, Boston will be on offense. New York switching up their D-line again a little bit. Boston with the typical O-line out there. Here's the pull. Sudoka waiting. And we go. 4th quarter is underway. Can Boston come back and upset Empire? Or can Empire still show themselves as one of the monsters atop of the East? Ty Chan with it. Takes a bump from Dross. Dross doesn't like it. Ty Chan kind of waving his arms like, eh.
Contact's contact, but if you are New York, you've gotten a little unlucky with the calls tonight.
Ty Chan finds Carapella. Carapella gonna unleash it. Looking as that one is tipped from Antoine Davis. Knocks it out of the hands of Tanner Johnson-Go. Antoine Davis, who has been everywhere this game, finally gets his block. It'll be Josue Aloro will pick it up. Antoine Davis just hustling for that play. The former hustle player still showing that hustle. Timeout now, New York.
New York timeout. Pivotal break here. As we said, Glory finished the quarter with the last goal. Now made one back up. Chance to make it 2 here. Empire up 14-10 with the timeout. We'll take another look at the Antoine Davis block, just out of the hands of Tanner Johnson-Go.
Yeah, this is a nice look from Carapella, and it looks like Davis gets just enough on this to knock it away from Johnson-Go. Just enough to get away from him. But again, Antoine Davis, a phenomenal athlete, has just been all over the place this entire game, and I think that's only his first block of the game, but he's been very close in other times.
And that's all it takes on a block like that. When you're expecting the disc to come over your shoulder, you have your hands in a position, and any sort of contact like that's going to move it.
Ruschmeyer-Bailey will start with it. Gets this one to Williams. Works up to Yacht now. Ben
Bird
Yacht.
stack here, and they're getting a lot of great movement off it.
Ben Yacht gets it back to Williams. Williams looking. Gets a nice in throw to Fortin. Now on sideline in double coverage is Ruschmeyer-Bailey looking for an over-the-top. Instead, they switch to single coverage and works it over to Weinberg. Weinberg back into the game. That's good to see. He had an apparent injury after a little freak throw, but he appears to be working good. Williams now sends this one back, run through D. Oscar Graff now running.
Graff's
deep.
off. Gets
Cats,
waved off.
Yep, Cat's not going to throw it, but a great run through D by Oscar Graff in his first game of the season.
Ben Cat's a player who only hucks it, once or twice a year at most. It's no surprise he doesn't want that. He does want this one.
Turner Allen giving chase. It's going to be short. He slides in. Now he's got Peter Borth no longer. Yes, actually, does still have Peter Borth, and they get the score. It's the hold for Boston. Boston's D-line actually getting the score, but it counts as a hold, not a break. But Boston's D-line showing some work. They cut the lead down to 3.
The rare D-line hold, and I called out Ben Katz for not hucking it much. Great run through D, Oscar Graff.
And then here's the throw from Katz. This one just dies, so it's a good play from Turner Allen. I thought he was going to throw to Borth there, but takes the extra second, and it's the right call as Borth gets the goal.
That's a great holster as well.
So Boston getting their D-line back out there. Jeff Babbitt about to play a D-point. And this means that we might get to see a matchup we have been dreaming about that we only saw for a brief moment before. We might get to see Babbitt and Yacht lock up. Battle of the Titans. And let's see. Babbitt's covering the downfield, currently on Chartok. Ruschmeyer-Bailey with it.
Boston, a little bit of a junk here.
Yeah, we'll see what New York can do against it. Boston trying to just make anything work. Works this one up. McCann can't get to it, so Fortin will throw it now to Yacht.
Glory, the early pivot to a man D now.
This one up, and Babbitt comes down with it. Babbitt came into this game as Glory's block leader. That's his 8th block of the season now. Glory with a break chance. Here's a laser to Babbitt that he handles just nicely. He's got Holm on him. Now McCann striking upline will get to it. Looking downfield will holster it. Swings around to Babbitt in the handler space. Now Babbitt, a floaty one to Katz, but he sneaks away with it. Weinberg was all over that, but Ben Katz comes away with it. Ben Katz and Jeff Babbitt playing out there.
Teammates in New York, now teammates in Boston, the layout.
Low throw, great grab by McCann. McCann, nice and chilly with it. Browning is out there. Here's Halflin now. Back to McCann. Halflin acting as a reset. Chartok almost got a piece of McCann. Here's Katz. McCann continuously running. We got 3 in the backfield. And he's going to go blade. That is off the hands of Bartoli. He couldn't handle it, and it goes out of bounds.
Blade just a little bit too hot for Chris Bartoli. Too hot and too high. New York get it back with a full field to run through.
Yeah, that would have been a crucial break for Boston if they could have gotten that. Cutting the lead to 2. Instead, now New York with it again. Williams faked the huck. Now just looking for anybody, getting high in the stall count. Now we'll send a nice one downfield, getting it to Chartok. Chartok to Holm, a floaty throw to Weinberg, who hauls it in. Weinberg gets the goal in what was very close to being a 2-goal game in favor of New York, is now back up to a 4-goal game.
And that's a really pivotal hold, as you just said. Could have been a 2-goal game there late. And Weinberg able to haul it in.
We're already getting close to halfway through the 4th. 7:23 remaining in the 4th. Still time. Glory is not out of this. But again, as you said, Cody, a pivotal hold for Empire. We see here's Yacht. Here's the initial one, block by Babbitt that started it. The great grab from McCann. But it'll be just here, this blade that just bounces off the hand of Bartoli. I can't tell if he was kind of anticipating, as here's the throw to Weinberg. If Bartoli didn't know how far into the end zone he was, the way his body language worked, he went up for it, trying to get it with one hand. Kind of looked like he was trying to toe himself in and might have just lost concentration on it. Oh, here's a floaty throw that Tai Chan somehow catches. But he injured himself, it looks like. Looks like he hurt his shoulder.
Immediately pointed to kind of the back of his neck, his shoulder area.
Yeah, the left shoulder bothering Tai
now.
Chan. I don't know how he caught this, which is something I say about Tyler Chan a lot, actually. Well,
I think you could make a weekly top 10 just if Tai Chan catches tonight.
Tai Chan coming out, unfortunately, off the play. Coming in for him. As Jeff Babbitt will come in for him.
Babbitt will come in. They'll trade the speed for the size. He'll pick up.
Yeah, and we just hope that Tyler Chan is okay. Oh, here's a quick grab to Borth. Jeff Babbitt in the handler space. Way back now into Empire's part of the field. Sadok works this one over to Dick. Here's Babbitt again. Little high throw that Sunday is able to come down with no problem. Sunday fakes the deep look. He's got Johnson go in the backfield. Instead, here's a bullet that Carapella handles nicely. Going to go around to Sadok. Lots of time coming off the clock. Here's a look for Babbitt with Droston Davis.
A lot of contact in there. Doesn't matter.
Got it. Comes down with it. Sadok to Babbitt. The UMass boys have the connection. Jeff Babbitt gets up over Dross and Davis.
I think Babbitt would have had the foul call there. Dross was all over him. Could see a lot of arm action in there. It doesn't matter.
That will be Jeff Babbitt's 4th goal of the game, as Sadok just unleashes the backhand. Jeff Babbitt just up with it, catches it with the left hand, and finishes in the end zone. This is a great throw from Sadok, but an even better catch from Babbitt. Kind of had Drost on skates for a second, and Babbitt just comes down with it into the end zone. He's hyped up. That could be a momentum shifter, as we'll see what the D-line can come in and do.
3-goal game, 6:13 to go, 4th quarter.
Yeah, Boston going to want a quick break. They go for the roller pull.
That's just the 3rd point of this quarter.
Yeah, we've been seeing more turns, more focus on defense. And speaking of defense, the roller pull quickly gets the double team, so they go for the hammer to get to Fortin nicely out of the double team. Stang Osborne with a nice mark. They get it to Williams. Jack Williams and Rushmeyer Bailey with a give and go. Rushmeyer Bailey now cutting back. And then back to Fortin. That's a good core right there of Fortin, Rushmeyer Bailey, and Williams. They've been working all night together. Goes for the hammer over the top. A nice grab by Holm. Loses the hat but maintains the disc. Snags that one as well.
That one had some distance on it.
Yeah, Jeff Holm having himself a good game today. Gets kind of lost in the shuffle with some of the bigger names on this team, but he himself playing very well today. Chartok looking for something. Yacht calling for it. We'll see if he gets it. Intended for him, and coming down with it, Ben Yacht, have yourself a night. Ben Yacht has, I believe, 5 assists today, and I believe that's only his 2nd goal, possibly 3rd.
I believe it's his 3rd. Wait for the live stats to update. But in any case, 7 or 8 scores tonight for Ben Yacht.
5
goals,
assists.
3 assists.
Yep, been playing unreal in this much anticipated matchup. See here, this is the hammer from Williams, and the great catch from Holm. Stays with it. Yacht had been calling for this disc for what seems like forever, and he finally gets rewarded on the step-out backhand from Oliver Chartok.
Peter Borth was on him, Turner Allen in the area. Borth just too small compared to tall and lanky Ben Yacht.
There's Colin Sunday. Boston trying to work quick. As Johnson Go makes a nice snag. He's on the sideline, works this one up to Carapella. Jeff Babbitt to his right. Works it up as Tai Chan back out there. That is great to see. Here's Johnson Go. Tai Chan just a little shaken up, it looked like. Ben Sadok in the backfield, acting as a... Here's Babbitt. Works it over. Simon Carapella going to make a cut. We'll see if Babbitt can get it to who. Here's Dick to Carapella. Carapella now the league leader in receiving yards. Number 1 in the league is Simon Carapella. Jeff Babbitt, little floaty over the top. Boston going to want to pick up the pace soon. Under 4 minutes to go now, down by 4. And Cody, at what point do you start forcing it a little bit more?
I think with being down 4, under 4 minutes to go, right around now I would have to argue.
Still playing with that patient offense. Here's Sunday playing it more, trying to play more effective, and wide open into the end zone is Babbitt, I believe.
It was Jeff Babbitt, and that's not somebody you can leave open like that.
No, just on the wide side, just no problem. Wide open. He could have done anything he wanted to. Read a book, order a pizza, could have done whatever. Nobody was getting to him.
Jeff Babbitt, yet another goal for him.
Yep, makes the lead now cut to 3. 3:30 to go in the game.
We're taking a look at the 5th goal of the night for Jeff Babbitt, and he's just wide open.
Yeah, just absolutely nobody on him, and that is a goal that New York can't afford to give up this late in the game. Boston can still come back to win. The game is not sealed quite yet, but it's definitely going to be Boston having to play with a sense of urgency going forward. Yeah, McCann going to go for the roller pull again to go out about midfield so they can set up their double team. Actually hits the smallest part of the bench. That's kind of impressive.
Both teams 96% completions. More attempts for Boston, but very even game in terms of throwing.
Quick over the top to Yacht. They get out of the double team almost immediately. Now works it upfield. Weinberg with it. Tipped off, and Ben Katz gets the D. Now Ben Katz working with it along with Brendan McCann. Break chance for Boston. They're going to want to act fast. Here's Katz. McCann cutting in.
Boston does still have a timeout. Now another 3 minutes to go. Might be time to think about using it.
Yeah, but so far they're electing not to. McCann on the sideline has a wide open Gabe Colton. He's got 2 options. A floaty one into the end zone for Oscar Graff, his first goal of the season. That cuts the lead to 2. That is a big break for Boston. They scored that in about less than a minute of play, and that's big for them. But now they're going to have to act fast and run it back. We see here on the turnover, Weinberg, that one just got tipped off of the hands of Ruschmeyer Bailey.
And Ben Katz, I don't know if he read the tip coming or if he just thought it was going to go over. But either way, hand in the right position.
Yep, and the
Luke Webb, the great assist.
Yep, Luke Webb with the quick transition. Oscar Graff gets his first goal of the season. So Boston now going to run it back. Pretty much, I think, the same line is out there.
First break of the night for Boston.
Really?
Comes with 2.5 minutes to go in the game.
They go for the roller pull again. This one beyond midfield this time. Just a little bit. Pretty good positioning, actually, for the roller pull. It's Johnson Go and Oscar Graff in the double team. They're going to chuck this one way back to Ethan Fortin.
The super dump, and it'll take a full field now.
Yeah, that just gives them the chance to set up. Johnson Go playing a D point. This one just over the hands of Ben Katz. This one, Weinberg drops it. Now Boston gonna have to quickly go. Johnson go quickly to Ben Katz. Now Ben Katz looking at Borth, he waves him off. Colton now waves him off. Here's Oscar Graff. Let's see what they can do. Strike cut, here's Borth. Now Graff gets looked off. Here's Katz again. Or actually, that's Halflin. Floaty to Halflin. Gonna have to score quick. Boston taking up a lot of time. Now here's the end zone look for Katz. Ben Katz gets to it, and that's a break. Back-to-back breaks for Boston. Makes it a one-goal game. 1:20 left to go.
And Boston. We have a ball game on our hands now.
Boston.
Ben Katz
gets to that one. Boston just inching and clawing their way back in. That's Ben Katz's first goal of the game. We see here as Weinberg just tips off of his hands, couldn't complete the catch. And Boston, with just nice, simple movement, Ben Katz just breaks away. All the time in the world to make the catch on the throw from Peter Borth. Now Boston once again going to want to run it back, as this crowd definitely getting their money's worth tonight in what has been a fantastic game between two great teams.
And another hybrid line here. Johnson going once again. Ty Chan's out for this one.
Yep, along with Luke Webb. Boston playing with a big lineup. Brendan McCann is out there along with Gabe Colton and Jeff Babbitt. They're going to go big hammer. Yep, this one cutting between Ben Yacht and Matt Labar. Labar calls for it.
And here we go. Ben Yacht, Jeff Babbitt matched up.
And New York just needs to play clean. They just can't force anything away. Boston on some really tight defense. New York will call a timeout. With 46 seconds to go, they're going to talk over their game plan.
If you're New York here, you need to kill as much clock as you can. You need to be careful, though. You can't keep dumping it forever. You don't want to risk someone getting in front of one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Causing the quick turnover, then the quick score, which is exactly what Boston's looking for. So if you're New York, you need to play conservative enough that you can run out the clock, but also aggressive enough that Boston can't get anything out of you. They got to try to work it up the field as best they can, and if they can get that insurance goal, then that'll surely be the dagger.
45 seconds, and this goal, as you said, really decides the fate of this game. McCann on the mark. New York in a vert, cut from the front.
Ruschmeyer Bailey goes over the top. Jack Williams gets high up there to bring it down. 40 seconds to go. Works this one up. This one, Ethan Fortin now in double coverage. Tries to sneak through. He drops it. He wants the contact call. Will he get it? I believe he will. They're going to call a strip. So a great break. So New York gets a great break on that. Instead, it's a foul now with 30 seconds. Ethan Fortin still maintains possession. Keeping that double coverage, Fortin forces a scoober to Williams with the quick look now to Labar. Labar gets it right back. A score here will surely be the end. As Ruschmeyer Bailey has it, 20 seconds to go. They can take their time here. They might not even need to score as this one is thrown to Yacht. And back to Williams, and this could be the game.
I believe that's what they're going to do. They're going to see it out.
Yep, they just need one completion, and that will do it.
Game clock is inside a stall. That'll do it.
Yep, and Ethan Fortin just going to go, why not give one more goal to Ben Yacht? He's had a fantastic game today, and that is how the game will end, 17-15. What came down to a nail-biter down the stretch is how this one ends. New York remains undefeated against Boston in their lifetime, increasing their record now 2-1 here this season. Boston drops to 3-2. New York now tied with DC. Boston, DC, and New York all atop of the East right now. As we look at Ben Yacht today, 4 goals, 5 assists. Unbelievable performance for Ben Yacht, who is clearly the player of the game. Well deserved from Ben Yacht. We take a look here. Here's the one Ethan Fortin calling the strip. That's exactly what happened. He got bumped by either Katz or Colton. And New York was just able to run out the clock, but Ethan Fortin just says, why not? Give Ben Yacht one more goal. Just an insurance just to get it out of there. And that is how this game will end. So New York goes up 2-1. 2-1 on the league. And Boston drops to 3-2.
And a disappointing finish for Boston, but 2 losses on the season for a combined 3-goal margin. Boston is very competitive at the top of this East Division this year, much more so than last year.
Yeah, we'll take a look at some team stats coming up to wrap this one up. As we take a look. So New York takes this one 17-15, had 5 of 10 break chances compared to Boston's 2 and 4. Red zone was perfect, 13 for 13 for New York compared to Boston's 9 for 12. New York 0 for 3 on huck attempts. Boston very effective, 5 for 7, and both teams with 12 turnovers in what was a very exciting contest. So that'll do it for us here today, here at Hormel Stadium in Medford, Massachusetts. We want to thank you for joining us here at Week 4 of the UFA. This was New York versus Boston. I'm Craig Salvador for Cody Roy. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.
This Saturday, the 2024 UFA playoffs begin with a gigantic battle in Boston. The 2-time defending champion New York Empire try to keep their season alive against old friend Jeff Babbitt and the Boston Glory. Opening poll scheduled Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. and broadcast exclusively on WatchUFA.tv.